pleasant day to all. We are Group 4 and we are tasked to report the Chapter 6 Wildlife Tourism. Do you know? Wildlife tourism refers to the observation and interaction with local animal and plant life in their natural habitats. By the way, hi, I'm Jean Sermiada, and today I'm going to deepen your knowledge on what wildlife tourism really is. Wildlife tourism is usually defined within the broad context of nature-based tourism. The terms wildlife tourism and nature-based tourism are used interchangeably in the literature primarily because wildlife tourism activities overlap with those of nature-based tourism. Curtin 2005, Reynolds and Braithwaite 2001, Rowe et al. 1997. Wildlife tourism and nature-based tourism has the same objectives and goals. When we say interchangeably, it means that it can be exchanged without making any difference. Snorkeling, visiting zoo, whale watching, bird watching, and etc. are part of activities of wildlife tourism. Watching and involving in activities does not mean that you are considered or classified as ecotourism, but you can be considered as nature-based. Generally, wildlife tourism is considered a form of ecotourism if it managed in accordance with the principles of sustainable development. And now, let's talk about the wildlife in the context of tourism. Before, the people were mostly hunting animals like birds, deers, bears, and etc. to make it as a trophies and sold to circuses and menageries. Menageries means exhibition or kanang exhibit, like exhibit ba nila dira ang kanang bones, but they do it privately because hunting animals is a crime. Wild animals are just suited to their natural environments. Some animals cannot survive if they are not in their own habitat because changing environment needs to adapt to the changes and they need to adjust. That's why some animals will really die if they are not in their own habitat. In tourism industry's perspective, wildlife were relatively large. Those attractive vertebrates and has a charismatic appeal to tourists were typically associated in wildlife. And it also pertains to wild animals kept under captive or semi-captive conditions, either within or outside their natural habitats. The animals commonly promoted in wildlife tourism constitute the majority of the species considered threatened with extinction by the World Conservation Union IUCN Red Book IUCN 2011. Thus, efforts to manage them, even those inhabiting areas outside protected reserves are urgent and necessary. So next, we have here a different definitions of wildlife tourism. So let's start with the according to the Sustainable Tourism Cooperative Research Center 2009, wildlife tourism involves encounters with non-domesticated animals either in their natural environment or in captivity. So non-domesticated animals were any animals, reptile which is not naturally tame or gentle or di sila dali mapaamo. You will encounter those animals that are not domesticated. It might be in their own habitats or it can be seen in zoo or in captivity. Next, according to Goodwin and Leather Williams 2002-57, wildlife tourism includes all forms and scales of tourism that involve the enjoyment of natural areas and wildlife. It is all about enjoying how beautiful the nature is or how wonderful to explore in different places. The next one is according to Freeze 1998, wildlife-based recreation can occur in public, private, or communal land. Some other common forms of forest recreational opportunities available on sa mga private lands can include camping, bird watching, rock climbing, horseback riding, and etc. And recreation activities, it might be on public, private, or communal land. It is allowed as long as it respects the privacy, the safety, and of course the people living or working on that certain place. According to Higginbottom 2004, wildlife tourism can entail attractions at fixed sites, tours, experiences available in association with tourist accommodation, or it can occur unguided encounters by independent travelers. So as a traveler, you can explore the places independently. You can go and explore beautiful attractions unguided. And lastly, according to Newsome et al. 2005, wildlife tourism is undertaken to view and or encounter wildlife. It can take place in a range of settings from captive, semi-captive to in the wild, and it encompasses a variety of interactions from passive observation to feeding and or touching the species viewed. So you can go see and touch animals. You can explore variety of attractions, and you can also encounter wildlife. So according to Newsome and Newsome et al, pwede ra nimo magunitan ang mga animals, like for example magtukag ka ng zoo, di ba? Pwede ra ka magpakaon, pwede ra ka mo sa mga animals. So mana siya. So the next one is the wildlife tourism, a recreational pursuit. So tourist interactions with wildlife in recreational pursuits may be non-consumptive or consumptive. Duffus and Dearden, 1990, Higginbottom, 2004. So consumptive, it is about killing and hunting animals that can be also used as a food, but some may use it as trophies, and they preserve the body parts of an animal like kanang bones, and they preserve the body parts of an animal to have a souvenir set of their thrill in hunting. Some are a professional hunters na, and they know how to kanang hunt na, and they meet all the criteria of an ecotourism undertaking. But it is a continuous issue ang kining hunting, because here in the Philippines, hunting, collecting, and threatening wildlife species is not allowed. Mapriso ka, chari. And that is according to the Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act, or Republic Act number 9147 or 2001. And when we say non-consumptive, it is just about seeing and admiring the animals. All the recreational activities had no deliberate intent to catch, kill, or interfere any kinds of animals. Activities includes photography, watching, and video recording. So that would be all about my topic, and Grace Hope Sinilong will be the one who will discuss the table 6.2. Yeah. So thank you, and I'll give the floor to Grace Hope Sinilong.